Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Turf Moor as Burnley, who are second from bottom with just one win on the board all season, take on an Everton side who lost against Leeds at home last week. Excuse me. Who lost against Leeds last week but are sitting in a decent 8th position at the moment. Still work in progress for Ancelotti's men. But for Burnley, with Sean Dyche in charge of his 200th Premier League game this afternoon, this really is a must-winner as regards this game. It's going to be tough, though, against an Everton side who, on paper, do look a very strong outfit, as I'll give you the teams in just a second or two when the teams emerge from the tunnel. But I can tell you that Burnley have brought Nick Pope back into this side, having missed the Manchester City game. And that's nothing against Peacock Farrell, who had a real baptism last week against Manchester City, and I thought was badly let down by the back four of Burnley last week. And of course Josh Brownhill is recovering from his injury, and he also starts alongside Westwood. So Burnley reverting essentially back to their 4-4-2. No Goodmanson, he's not in the 16, he's still out for injury. Neither at the moment is Jack Cork. So Robbie Brady will start on the on the right hand side, predominantly left footed of course, but that'll just unbalance things a little bit in the Burnley lineup. But when you haven't got the resources at your disposal, it's very difficult if you're Sean Dyche. As for Everton, one former Claret does make his return back to Turf Moor today. That's Michael Keane, the centre back. He spent 2.5 years at Turf Moor and did magnificently well before earning a £30 million move to Everton, where it hasn't really worked out in him thus far. But hopefully with Ancelotti at the helm, he can really live up to his potential that he showed here at the Turf. Just waiting the teams to come out. The referee incidentally comes from Manchester today to continue the North West theme of things. That's Anthony Taylor. There's still no fans allowed in the Turf at the moment because obviously Burnley are in Tier 3 of the COVID-19 restrictioned area, which is a bit of a disgrace if I'm being honest, because the infection rates up in these parts have been sort of going down thus far. But at the moment, all is calm, all is still. Just banners around the stadium, and of course the comment section, of course, goes without saying, is open for business. And of course the Premier League's Rainbow Laces campaign goes without saying, is open for business. And of course the Rainbow Laces campaign is in full swing now. That's against discrimination against homosexuals and all that sort of thing. But anyway, the teams are out there. But it's all about the football here today. Burnley, of course, need I tell you, in claret and blue. The teams have come out here. There's a nice overhead shot of a very empty Turf Moor. It's sad really to see Turf Moor empty, because I tell you what, on a day like today, the fans would have been really out in force. It was really sad to see. We're just seeing nice hills there, wind turbines, electricity pylons up on the hills, the singing ringing tree, of course. It's the sort of hills that inspired the poetry of the Bronte sisters and all that. And then behind the stand where we're sat, which you won't see, is Pendle Hill, famous for its witches and things like that. That is what we're talking about here. Right, let me give you the two lineups then, starting with, of course, the Clarets, and they line up with Nick Pope back in goal, having missed the Manchester City game for injury. Matt Lowton, James Tarkowski and Ben Mee and Charlie Taylor. I've got a lot to do, really. They didn't do themselves justice at Manchester City last week, so they get another opportunity to see what they are about. McNeil, Westwood, Brownhill and Robbie Brady will play in the midfield. Brady, I predict, will play on the right with McNeil on the left, with Brownhill, of course, and Westwood in the middle. And then Chris Wood and Jay Rodriguez prefer to Ashley Barnes up front. On the bench, Bailey Peacock Farrell, Ashley Barnes, Eric Peters, Matty Vidra, Kevin Long, Jimmy Dunn and Josh Benson, who actually didn't have a bad match despite being on the losing side against Manchester City heavily last week. With Everton's lineup, Jordan Pickford in goal, then it's Ben Godfrey, Yeremina and Michael Keane, the back three. So they're playing with a back three today, Everton. Then they've got Awobi, Allen, Decore and Delph I predict we'll play on the right, Delph on the left, but we'll have to find out what Ancelotti does. Then up front, a very formidable front three, it has to be said. James Rodriguez of Colombia, Dominic Calvert-Lewin of England, and Richarlison of Brazil. On the bench, Russell, Mason Holgate, Gylfi Sigurdsson, Cenk Tosun, Bernard, Gomez, and Tom Davis. And as I said, 3 at the back, so it's a 3-4-3 essentially for Everton, who are playing in yellow today. Clarets, of course, you need not reminding, they're playing 4-4-2. And of course, leave your comments in the comment section on the side. We'd like to hear from you. And of course, without saying, folks, if you are tuning in, keep your comments clean and keep them family friendly, of course. James Rodriguez, who really has impressed, didn't have his best couple of games, of course. Everton losing to Leeds. Burnley won their last home match 1-0 against Crystal Palace, although they made heavy weather of it. But I suppose when you're down at the bottom and you're needing a victory, I suppose it doesn't matter how you get them. It doesn't matter how it comes about, as long as you get the 3 points. That's the importance of it. Ancelotti's got a good record, however, at Turf Moor. He came here with Chelsea back in 2010 when they won 2-1, went on to be Premier League champions. The referee today comes from Greater Manchester, that's Anthony Taylor. His 2 linesmen are Gary Bezic and James Mannering. Not captain, of course, not Captain Mannering from Dad's Army. Don't tell him, Pike. And Rob Jones, the 4th official. And the VIR ref, our very celebrity referee, Mike Dean, assisted by Peter Kirkup. So we're all set to go then. Thank you, Russ. Good afternoon to you. And we're all set here. Looking forward to watching these. They take the obligatory knee, and I don't need to explain why they take the knee. I'm sure you all know that reason by now. It's Burnley, in fact, get us in the way, and they're attacking the goal away to our right-hand side. That's the cricket field stand. And Everton in the yellow shirts with the blue shorts. It's a bit of a throwback to the olden days when they used to wear this as an away shirt. Back in the 70s, Everton. As Welby gets the ball over on the far side, gets the early cross in, and the ball deflects, and it will be a throw-in just by the far corner quadrant for Everton. Burnley started on the front foot really well against Crystal Palace last time out here at Turf Moor, and took an early lead, of course, through Chris Wood. Took his goal expertly well, but rolled their luck on several occasions against Crystal Palace, and they needed that save at the end, you might remember, from Nick Pope, and that speaks of bravery. Actually cost him his place in the side for injury against Manchester City. But I'm not going to blame Peacock Farrell for what happened at the Etihad last week. He had no chance with any of the goals that went past him. Here's Matt Lowton, who's got a lot to prove. He hasn't been at his best, but keeps his place in his side. Just to remind you, we've brought you the 2 benches, of course. No place for Phil Bardsley at the moment. No place, of course, for Jack Court. They're still recovering from injuries, and Gunmarson's out for another few weeks as Westwood just about wins possession and plays it to Brownhill, and then Brownhill onto Wood. Brownhill again, lovely back quick. Westwood now trying to spray it out to Dwight McNeil, who really has to have a good game today, but the ball's beating him out of play. So Sean Dyche in charge for Burnley for the 200th time in top flight football, the Premier League. His first match, of course, August 2014, and what a baptism it was against Chelsea on a white up Monday night. It was white up for 2 reasons. One, the weather was very warm, and 2, the atmosphere was superb. And they lost 3-1 but didn't disgrace themselves, because Chelsea really played them off the park that night. And he's gone on to manage another 199 times since, and has kept Burnley in the Premier League. And the shot comes in, it's gone in for Brady! Brady, within 2 minutes, has given the Clarets the lead. And what a fillip it was! He's hit it right-footed. He's predominantly a left-footed player, Robbie Brady. But it doesn't matter. What a start for the Clarets. And my goodness, they needed it. Jordan Pickford beaten before he could touch the ball. No emotions from Sean Dyche, but he won't care one shot. Brady gets the ball here, something like 20 yards out, and he strikes it right-footed. It's predominantly a weaker foot because he's predominantly a left-footed player, but he can hit him from range, and we saw it there. Westwood winning the ball here, and he played a lovely weighted ball here. Brady, nice little first touch to control it. And then an unerring shot, as I say, with his weaker foot, bounces wickedly in front of Pickford. But it's a terrific goal for Burnley. And just the start they needed. The perfect tonic for the Clarets. It's Burnley 1, Everton 0. What a start. Brilliant. Robbie Brady. Well, he hasn't scored for a long time for the Clarets for so many reasons. Injury problems and whatnot, loss of form and that. But I tell you what, he's answered a lot of critics with that goal, that's for sure. There was a bit of a worry that he'd start on the right-hand side, but my goodness, well, if he hits shots like that with his predominantly weaker foot, then he must be a better player than what I thought. What a start. And if Burnley win today, they can climb above Fulham out of the drop zone, and what a fillip that could be. They'll go to, I think, to 8 points. Fulham have got to play Manchester City at 3 o'clock today, so I'll be keeping my eyes on that one. The only team, incidentally, in the Premier League without a win this season is Sheffield United, and they're rock bottom at the moment, and their fans have been watching on YouTube going into this weekend's fixtures. They're a bit worried about what points they can take from the next 6 games, so it's all up for grabs now as the ball is spreaded back to the goalkeeper, Pickford. Well, it's the battle of the England goalkeepers. So far, Pickford, who's in possession of the number 1 shirt with England at the moment, well, it's not a good start for him. Pope hasn't had much to do, but it's a great start for the Clarets. Robbie Brady on 2 minutes, the goal scorer. But there's still a long, long way to go yet. There's still got 85 minutes for stoppage time. So nothing's cast in stone yet. Here's Delph on the left-hand side. Crosses in towards Calvert-Lewin, who is a threat and a danger. There's no doubt about that. So is Richarlison, and so, of course, as we've seen before, James Rodriguez. In fact, there's 2 Rodriguez's out on the field today. We've got Jay Rodriguez for Burnley, the English version. And then we've got James Rodriguez, the Colombian, playing for Everton. So 2 Rodriguez's on the field, but it's Robbie Brady's goal after 3 minutes that given the Clarets the lead. Keep commenting, and of course we'll bring back, of course, with the return of the game after 3 weeks, of course will coincide with the return of the JB Man of the Match award. Of course, you know what to do. Ross will tell you. He's the one who's to provide it. And well, they've called Turf Moor a happy place in the castle this last 3 weeks. Of course, Radio 1 DJ Jordan North is a big Burnley fan. As we'll just break off for a second, and I thought he was robbed, by the way. In the voting on I'm a Celebrity last night. I put my 10 votes in for him to win, but they weren't enough, apparently. I do think the voting system on that programme is, to say the least, bent. But Jordan came second to somebody called Giovanna Fletcher, who I've never heard of before. Apparently she's married to some idiot off McFly, but well, I don't know who McFly are, but there we go. Jonathan Abbey Quay, of course, a very popular member of our crew, tunes into our coverage on Trevor Sports and has made an appearance on my channel today. Hello, Jonathan. And a very good afternoon to you. Nice to have you with us. Here comes a Welby for Everton. Burnley now got to be on their defensive mettle, and the shot came in, and it took a bounce off Ben Mee, and then Nick Pope, I think a little bit ill-advised there, punched it out for a throw-in when he could have easily took the catch there. And he said that there were 2 Everton players nearby, so virtual hug. Thank you, Jonathan. We'll need a few hugs here up in the commentary box. It's a very cold day here in Burnley today. No fans, of course, allowed in the ground because we are where we are today. It's Tier 3 restricted. All Lancashire and Manchester up here are Tier 3. I know there's police cordons, I believe, on the Lancashire-Yorkshire border because North Yorkshire's Tier 2. It's all a bit confusing, those tier systems. I think the government should scrap them. But enough about the COVID-19 situation. That's a political debate and a debate for another channel. Here on this channel, it's all about the football and it's all about Burnley winning at the moment. 1-0 against a very good Everton side who look a talented side on paper, but they come into this game on the back of a very bad defeat against Leeds, which I have to say, Leeds I mean, they may have got a late winner, but I thought on the day and the night, I have to say, at Goodison Park, they thoroughly deserved their 3 points. And really, they out of the newly promoted sides, I think Leeds have been the ones most that have impressed me. And Gareth Southgate, the England manager, no doubt keeping his watchful eye on Messrs Pope and Pickford. And of course, there will be that will be a big topic of conversation. Still a big topic of conversation, certainly around Everton and Burnley. Who really is number one out of these two? Dean Henderson, certainly a distant third because he's not getting many games at the moment for Manchester United. Looking to go on loan in January, of course, Henderson. Several big clubs in to try and get his services there in January. He's way behind David De Gea in the pecking order at Old Trafford. And Dutton Cole, good afternoon to you. Gary is a Liverpool fan. He's happy that Burnley are 1-up. So there's always going to be that little bit of a City rivalry. But it is a friendly derby, the Merseyside derby. I'm looking forward. We saw a very good one earlier on, but it was sad really that the game, which was a good game at Goodison Park, was overshadowed of course by that horrendous injury to Virgil van Dijk. Anyway, here comes Chris Wood into the penalty area. Rodriguez is close at hand, but it's come away again. And of course we'll have updates from Russ for us today, where he's covering Reading versus Nottingham Forest. And Russ, hopefully we'll have him back for one of the Sunday matches, I hope, tomorrow as well. Don't forget as well, keep watching. If you haven't seen the Trevor Sports match of the day yet, I suggest you give him a watch after the coverage. And of course we've got another live match for you today. I've got 2 games for you today. We're going to have West Ham versus Manchester United for you at 5:30. So because we've been away for 3 weeks, we thought we'll give you a bit of compensation. We'll give you a double header this Saturday afternoon and evening. So we got this game, which is 10 minutes old, with Burnley winning 1-0 against Everton, and then at 5:30 a real tasty game, and there will be some fans in for that one as well. West Ham versus Manchester United at the London Stadium. So you're going to get 2 games for the price of 1 on the JB Sports YouTube channel. Meanwhile, here at Turf Moor, Burnley get a throw in midway inside their own half. James Tarkowski to take. He was certainly responsible for 2 of the 3 goals, 2 of the 5 goals that went past Burnley last week against Manchester City. A really sad state of affairs. I know it's Manchester City, but really was a poor showing from the defence, and they need to really get back to that strong jaws Sean Dyche always says. Now Pickford in possession. Wood is coming to challenge him. Pickford made a little bit of a meal of that. Could have got rid of that sooner rather than later there from the goalkeeper's point of view, because Wood was closing in on him with each second that went by, and Rodriguez is doing the same here, but Pickford realised the danger and got it out towards the far side. Noah Welby has possession, the former Arsenal man. Arsenal struggling at the moment in their quest. They've got the North London derby tomorrow. That's going to be a real test of their mettle, because they're really down at the moment. Another bad defeat last week against Wolves. Of course, there will be a few supporters for that one. It is at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, so it's all going to be Spurs fans, which is going to make Arsenal's job easy, very difficult. They are, I think they're limited to 2,000 supporters, the southern teams, and Brighton and Southampton and Everton and Liverpool when they play their home matches. As a good cross in there. Oh, good, lovely cross from Lowton. And I think Mina got back there for Everton on the 6-yard box, with Chris Wood very much lurking. In fact, there's a foul there inside the centre circle. And, well, it was a poor throw out from Pickford, and it was well intercepted here by Matt Lowton. Full marks to the Burnley man, and Wood was within an ace of getting on the end of that. That is a fantastic cross from Matt Lowton. And, in fact, it was Jay Rodriguez, in fact, who got in there, not Chris Wood. And if only 2-0 would have been a dream start for the Clarets, who have only had 1 win from their first 10 games. They've drawn a couple and lost the rest. And they've lost 7 of their first 10. And the referee's played on. There's an advantage here. A Welby from Calvert-Lewin's pass. A Welby on the far side in towards Calvert-Lewin. Good save from point-blank range by Nick Pope, showing why he should really be England's number 1. He denies his England colleague from from 3 yards practically. It was a lovely move, I have to say, from Everton. There was a foul in the build-up there, but the referee, in fairness, played on, and it was a good advantage, a lovely cross. And you will have to say, from Calvert-Lewin's point of view, he should be making it 1-1. But Nick Pope, well, what a superstar he is. He made that magnificent save at the end of the match against Crystal Palace, and he's just made one of real world-class quality. And that just about keeps Burnley in front, but it should have really been the equaliser. And it would have made Jonathan's prediction come true, because at the moment he's going for a 1-1 score. And Russ has got some breaking news for us as Burnley have got a throw. I'll bring it to you now. Well, we've got a little break in play, but Burnley taking a throw. I'll just break off for a second because Burnley have possession. Here that they come again. This is Lowton now. Gets it over halfway and he gets Brady on his way, but surely that'll be mopped up there by Michael Keane. Back on his old stomping ground. Not a good return at the moment. Burnley won the corresponding fixture last year 1-0. I'll tell you about head-to-head records in a second, because here's James Rodriguez, and a Welby's through, and a good cross, but again Nick Pope, close at hand at the near post, perfectly positioned, and took the low cross really well, got down very quickly. But Everton now in the last sort of 3 or 4 minutes have really picked up the pace, and really do look a very, very accomplished side, it's got to be said. Amage playing the ball forward on the right, and in the end it was an easy take there for Nick Pope. So breaking news, Lee Johnson, the former Bristol City manager, has been appointed Sunderland's new boss. Replacing, of course, Phil Parkinson, who had a couple of years to try and sort things out, 14 months I think. And the second manager's more than Prime Minister's up at Sunderland at the moment. It really is a sad state of affairs up there, considering they were established Premier League clubs some 3 or 4 years ago. It's sad to see them languish, a team with such history as Sunderland. Sad to see them languishing in League One at the moment. As the boys knock forward again, here's Jay Rodriguez, can't control it. But Burnley do look a threat, of course, on the counter-attack. Quarter of an hour gone. If you just tuned in, it's 1-0 to Burnley. Goal on 2.5 minutes from Robbie Brady, and it was a 22-yard thunderbolt with his right foot, and he's predominantly weaker right foot, it's got to be said as well. Burnley takes possession, the Burnley captain, and it's a great fillip for Burnley to have him back at the heart of the defence. They did miss him in the opening portion of the season, and they did look a better side defensively when they played Brighton. Last game we covered before we took our prolonged 3-week break. I didn't expect it to be 3 weeks, but there were certain things personally that were going on that I needed to settle first before getting back into the commentary swing of things. Here's Rodriguez, midway side is the Everton half. Lovely football, this McNeil. He's got Taylor out here on the left-hand side. Taylor with a bit of a wayward cross. Pickford decides to come and just gets it to the right of his 6-yard box and quells any potential danger there for the Toffees. Everton 1-0 down. James Rodriguez going to Goodison was a real coup for them, all things considered. But he's worked with Ancelotti before, and Ancelotti seems to always get the best out of a player like James Rodriguez, who came to prominence at the World Cup in 2014, scored some cracking goals. I remember one such goal when he struck it off the underside of the bar and in against, I think it was Uruguay when he was playing for Colombia. It was the second round match. They lost to Brazil in the quarterfinals. Of course, and we've lost the pictures again. It always happens. It always happens when we go to live matches, doesn't it? We always get the problems. Hopefully we'll pick up the game again and get back to you on that in a second. But just going back to James Rodriguez, he was a real world-class player, and he looked the real deal at the World Cup 6 or 7 years ago. He really did, and he looked a superb player. But for one reason or another, got himself a move to Real Madrid, and it never quite worked out for him really at the Bernabeu. He was always down really in the pecking order as far as that was concerned, and really just never worked. For one reason or another, it never quite, worked out for him here as we we're just trying to get the game back. There's been a goal in the game at the Majewski Stadium. Reading, who have been going very well actually in the Championship, in the playoffs at the moment, and they're strengthening that case. As we just see a break here for Everton, and again Pope takes down at the near post, and the danger is quelled again, but Everton on the attack. But it's a goal by Lucas João from a penalty after Yates was sent off for handball. So really a bad start for Chris Hughton's men. Chris Hughton, who's got a very good record in the Championship with teams like Birmingham and Brighton, getting them into the playoffs, and of course he got Brighton promoted 2-3 years ago, of course. And they did it in fantastic style. This is Dominic Calvert-Lewin now for Everton. Deep inside Burnley territory here. Back to Iwobi. Mina's there too. Still looking for the break as well. Decore is still forward as well. Plenty forward here for the men in yellow. This is Delph now on the near side. Delph digs out across. Ben Mee gets a header in, but it's not gone far. Decore heads it back, and a little game of head tennis on the Burnley penalty area, which will not be too pleased about having to do there, but they got away with it. And Rodriguez has held it up well. Has played it to Dwight McNeil rather. Finds Charlie Taylor on the left hand side. Burnley still having in their own half here. And there's fans up at Reading, or down at Reading I should say. They're in a tier 2 situation there in Berkshire, which is predominantly a touring heartland, unlike the north. I don't think Boris has too much time for us northerners, but there we go. Here's McNeil, really needs to traffic, and now here's James Rodriguez, the tricky little Colombian who's an entertainer, but his colleague Decore is giving it away, and here's Wood, but he may have just been slightly offside as the ball was played, and in the end I think he had to just let that ball go to Jordan Pickford in the end. And here come Everton now with number 7 Richarlison back to Delph, who have both got similar sort of haircuts. They've both got a bit of a blonde streak on top, so it's hard to tell from one from the other really. They're both playing on the same side of the field on the left hand side, so that's a little bit confusing. But having said that, it's still 1-0. We've had 20 minutes here at the Turf. Remember, we've got another match for you tonight. We're going to be at the London Stadium. I'm going to make a quick getaway from Manchester Airport to London Airport, and then I'm going to be chauffeur driven. I'm going to be driven down to the London Stadium, where there will be some fans in for West Ham against Manchester United, and there will be 2,000, I believe, West Ham fans in attendance this evening down at the London Stadium. But here at a very cold and windy turf board, we had snow here yesterday, which was lovely to see. Nice to see the snow out in full force, and it was really good to look at as we look at Carlo Ancelotti, the Everton manager. Everton, who have not won a trophy incidentally since 1995, when Paul Rideout scored the winning goal. We've lost the pictures again, having 1 or 2 technical errors again, and it's not looking very good at the moment, it's got to be said. So we're going to try and get we'll try and get the game back for you, but just to remind you, in the Championship, Reading are leading by 1-0. Just in case you've joined us late. Burnley, in the game that we're actually covering at the moment, they're winning 1-0 as well. A goal from Robbie Brady after 2.5 minutes has put the Clarets in control, and we're just waiting to get back the pictures, the moving pictures, and then we can move on again with the game. Live from Turf Moor. What a game. If Burnley can get 3 more points, that will take them out of the bottom 3. That's the incentive for the Clarets this evening. They need to get that. Need to get those 3 points on the board, because if they can get them 3 points, it will be a real fillet for them. We're just having 1 or 2 technical difficulties, but we will be, once we've got the pictures back, we will be bringing you the game. And we're now into the 21st minute, and we're back live, and here's Brownell now, and it's just wide, and only just wide. It was a very good effort and just wide of the target, and we're having one or two technical issues again. Oh my word, this internet is appalling. I don't know what they're giving us here at Turf Moor, but it's not very nice. I'll be speaking to Des Bentley afterwards. We're still looking to get moving pictures, but unfortunately we're having real technical difficulties trying to bring you the action here. And oh my giddy aunt, it's not... We're having real technical problems here. If it really is frustrating at the moment. And another technical issue there. We're having plenty of these today, I've got to be honest. It's not... I don't know why. Sometimes we try and bring you these games and we try and get these games on, and we're in the lap of the gods as regards technical issues. But here we are back live again, and we've got a foul there on Brownhill. And then now our pitch freezed again. We've got we've got people in our commentary position here trying to fix pitches here, and at the moment we are having no luck at all. We've got... I can hear sound through my earphones, but I can't see any moving pictures at the moment, so it's not looking very nice at the moment. The outlook does not look rosy at all. It's very disappointing, but I can tell you it's still 1-0 here, and we've really got technical issues here of the highest order here at the turf. It is very disappointing to see. Hopefully we'll get some moving pictures, and we do finally. I hope now I've got some moving pictures, and we just have to wait a second, and we'll get and then our technical man can get our screen back full pelt. That's the problem with technical stuff, where we're always in the lap of the gods with this technical stuff. Hopefully our tech man now has got us back up and running again, and we've got pitches again, I think. Yes, we have. And here's Fabian Delph, and here he is now on the ball trying to tussle away from Brady, and he's done really well, but the referee has blown, I think, for a free kick, I think. And Delph is well, it could be an injury here for Fabian Delph. This could be a very... Well, the referee had to stop it at that point. I have to say Anthony Taylor was spot on there, because when you look at it again, you can just see his hamstring up, and the referee, in fairness to Anthony Taylor, is not 2 yards away from that, and I've got to be honest, he had no option but to wave the trainer on there, the physiotherapist, I should say. And really, that's an injury problem that Carlo Ancelotti could really do without. So Burnley 1 up, but Everton have really got back into the game really well. They do have Tom Davies, who's a promising England international, of course. He's a very good player, no doubt about that. Also, you've got the likes of Bernard as well, and of course you've got Cenk Tosun and Sigurdsson, of course, who can play in those areas. So let me just go through the Everton bench for you in case you haven't seen it, or haven't heard it. Lozil, Sigurdsson, Tosun, Bernard, Gomez and Davis. Burnley have got Peacock Farrell, Ashley Barnes, Eric Peters, Mattia Vidra, Kevin Long, Jimmy Dunn and Josh Benson. And it looks as if Andre Gomez is going to be the player that's going to come on here for Everton. We are back live with you now as we go into the 28th minute of the game of Turf Moor. Remember, Reading leading Nottingham Forest by 1-0. If you are on at the moment listening along, please keep your comments clean. You are entitled to have your comments, and you'll be able to do so again in our second live offering we've got for you today. We'll be at the London Stadium at 5:20. 5:30 kickoff. Well, hopefully in our build-up we'll bring you interviews from earlier today from this game being played at the moment from Sean Dyche and of course from Carlo Ancelotti as well. Well, of course we'll also give you a full classified check of all the results from across the UK this afternoon. So if you want the good results service and a late night game, JB Sports is the place to be. Everton in fact won a free kick from a foul by Lowton, and Michael King decides to go back to the goalkeeper, and King gets it back from Jordan Pickford. We're now heading towards the 29th minute of the game. Good news if you're a Claret. Burnley 1-0 ahead. Canny, Icy Canny says hi. Good afternoon, rather, to you. We're in the afternoon. I'm used to saying good evening, but we are afternoon now. We have done a few evening games this season on the JB Sports channel on a Sunday night, and what games they've turned out to be. But we're here on a Saturday afternoon for your listening pleasure. Remember, it's Cater's brother, of course. Yes, new Cater. Yes, nice to have you with us again. Here goes an opportunity here for Everton, and it's a chance here for Calvert-Lewin. Oh, good tackle. Lovely tackle there from Tarkowski. As Calvert-Lewin got in the shot, it was a good block really from Tarkowski on the right-hand side of his own 6-yard area here. But Everton are really starting to dominate things a little bit, which is a bit of a worry for the Clarets. Here's James Rodriguez, who's a really good, as I say, talented, world-class individual. Colombian international, gets the cross into the penalty area, comes to Gomez, who's just come as a substitute, hits it right-footed into the crowd. It hit, I think, Jay Rodriguez, and then the ball comes back out, and Brady gets a touch on, and Burnley can just hook it well over halfway, and a chance here for Wood to chase this down. But back comes Decore, who gets the ball back. It's 1-0 to Burnley, who have led from the second minute, I should say. A goal from 22 yards from Robbie Brady with his right foot into the far left-hand corner has given the Clarets the lead. Nick Pope's made a fantastic save from 3 yards to deny Calvert-Lewin an equalising goal for Everton. But it's been a game really, and of course there's been a substitution for Everton. Fabian Delph has had to go off, and Andre Gomez is off, and I think it was the back of his, his hamstring that had gone. Fouled by Yuri Mina on Jay Rodriguez. A bit of a sort of a push in the back. We've had half an hour. Well, as far as I'm aware, Everton have had 2 or 3 good, decent opportunities, but that save from Pope has been the best that Everton have mustered. Here comes Rodriguez chipping it forward. Wood wins the header, but he's had to nod it back, unfortunately. And here comes Brownhill and then Westwood. Now McNeil has got Taylor on the overlap on the left-hand side. Taylor trying to get past his man, but he's lost it, and now he's badly out of position. And Everton are away here on this far side with Arobi. And now he's found Calvert-Lewin, but his first touch was poor, and he goes straight through to Nick Pope. That will be a very relieved Charlie Taylor there, because he tried to take on 1 or 2 all-comers there from Everton and ended up almost with egg on his face. Everton have now got a problem here. Mina has hurt the side of his head there. It's all been on all action 32 minutes or so, but Burnley leading by a goal to 0. Definitely onside, but just couldn't get the ball under control, and it went nicely into the path of Nick Pope. That's what happened. There was a bit of a clash of heads, and then he kicks out at Wood there, Mina. I think he's a bit lucky there not to concede a foul. But as it happens, it still remains 1-0 to Burnley as Pope kicks away just outside his penalty area, deep inside Everton territory, halfway inside the Everton half. Then Westwood gets it. That's surely going to be a Burnley free kick, and quite rightly Anthony Taylor gives the decision there against James Rodriguez. Westwood, the man that was tripped, and they've taken the free kick quickly. We were looking at a replay of the foul there. Ill-advised from BT Sport to do that. They're the television providers this afternoon, whose stream has been a little dodgy to say the least. Burnley have had another effort that's gone just wide as well, as the ball goes up towards Wood, but it's sounded out by Michael Keane, the former Claret, Now Richarlison's got it inside the middle of the area, and then the ball passed back to Nick Pope, who can't pick the ball up, has to kick it. Takes it towards outside, and then Bebe having to retreat with 2 Everton players on his back there. That wasn't the best thing that Nick Pope could have done. And it's put Burnley into a little bit of trouble here because the ball is played in and Richarlison might get there. I think the flag, they were appealing for offside, and it has been given. Gary Bezic making a decision on the far side against Brazilian Richarlison. Just run you through the official set. He's about 3 yards offside there, wasn't he, Richarlison? It would have been an uproar, an outrage if Burnley had scored. This is the goal again. It was given away by Iwobi on the left-hand side. It was Westwood who picked up the loose ball, played it into Brady. First touch to control was excellent, just to keep the ball nice and solid. And it was a very good shot. He's predominantly a left-footed player. Let's not forget Robbie Brady. He's left-footed, renowned with his left foot, but he scored a great goal with his right. It's got to be up there for goal of the month, I think. That is for sure. And New Caton's on. Hello, JB and everybody else. Hope you're doing fine. We're doing fantastically, New Caton. Burnley are as well. 1-0 they lead Everton here at the Turf. That 3rd-minute goal from Brady, but Nick Pope has made one worldie of a save from 3 yards to deny, from point-blank range to deny Calvert-Lewin from 3-yard range. That is just unbelievable goalkeeping, and that's goalkeeping at its true finest. Anyway, here come Burnley now as Taylor tries to get the ball forward down the left-hand side, trying to find McNeil and Rodriguez. They get a throw-in now, 10 yards inside the Everton half on the far side, deep inside Everton territory. Caton has said the goal. It was a cracker, wasn't it? That was with his predominantly weaker foot. And of course, keep your comments clean. Of course, as we've got Caton is one of our youngest subscribers. He's 10 years old, and he's a good kid, and he's a very, very good YouTuber himself. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd suggest you do, because I think he gives very good balanced points. And he's a very intelligent 10-year-old, one of the most talented 10-year-olds I've come across in my years of doing this sort of thing. Here's Richarlison now, going for the shot, and it's gone just wide of the target. Really good effort from the Brazilian, but Nick Pope might have had that left-hand post covered anyway, in any case. But just backing off there, the Burnley defence a little bit there. Richarlison, not afraid to shoot on standing. It hit the left-hand stanchion behind Nick Pope's goal, but it goes away to predominant safety for the Clarets, who still lead 1-0 at a very deserted Turf Moor, as Burnley are still in tier 3 of the COVID-19 restrictions tier. They're not allowed fans in. The only teams at the moment in the Premier League who allow fans are all the London clubs, Brighton and Hove Albion, Southampton and Everton and Liverpool for home games only. The rest of us have to suffer the indignity of having no fans, because the rest of the clubs, Aston Villa, Wolves, West Brom, ourselves, Manchester United, Manchester City, Leeds, Leicester and several other teams have to make do without fans. It's a bit of a joke really what the government are doing as regards the tier system. I think it's an absolute joke, but we'll leave politics to one side here, because Burnley are still winning 1-0 even without the 12th man. And there's a nice little sign there for Jordan North, who you may know. I'm sure New Caton knows of him. I'm sure he's a familiar listener, a familiar voice to people like New Caton. Radio 1. I'm sure he likes a bit of Radio 1, New Caton. He does the weekend show on Radio 1 normally. He's been in the Castle on I'm a Celebrity, and controversially, in my opinion, came second to Giovanna Fletcher, who didn't really deserve to win on the balance. And I've been on every messaging board on Facebook about the I'm a Celebrity, calling for VAR to overturn what was really a poor decision. I think the voting system on that programme is bent, but never mind. We're in the happy place, and it's a happy place for the Burnley at the moment as they go looking for a second goal. And Tarkowski had gone forward from the back and almost got a second one. They've got a corner out of it. New Caton has been on again, and there was no offside there. Games today up in Serie A are Juventus against Torino, Spezia against Lazio, and Inter Milan against Bologna at the San Siro. I remember the VAR and I'm a celeb. Well, we haven't had any calls for VAR. Mike Dean, our celebrity official, who's in charge of events here up down at Stockley Park this afternoon, has had precious little to do. He's had a probable quiet game from his high steaders down there at Stockley Park as the corner comes in and Pickford had to punch it away in a very crowded penalty area. And now Everton are very lightning fast on the break. We've said that so many times this season, but what about that from Charlie Taylor? That was defensive corners personified from the Clarets number 3. Did really well there, got back and did tremendously well. Here's Ben Mee. We're about 6 minutes away plus stoppage time from the half-time whistle. We'll take a 10-minute break. So we should take a 10-minute break and then we'll come back with the second half, and then we'll take a 2-hour break. Then we'll go to the London Stadium for our second live commentary of the day at 5:15. We'll also give you in the build-up the full classified check, of course, of today's results. Of course, that includes, of course, a Premier League game at 3 o'clock that involves Manchester City at home to Fulham. Burnley, the incentive is to move out the bottom 3 with a win. Oh, and a good cross from Richarlison. And James Tarkowski had to win that header, and boy, did he do so, because Calvert-Lewin was right in there as well. And I tell you what, if Tarkowski hadn't have got there, I think Calvert-Lewin would have done, and that could have been the equalising goal. But the danger's not over yet. They've taken the corner. He's been pulled back here. A little chip in there. Pope should get it, and does. Inside his 6-yard area. Good goalkeeping that. As the ball was chipped in there, I think it was from Gomez. And Pope read it like a book. And took the ball very confidently as well. He's had a good match, I think, Nick Pope, in the Burnley goal. He's made some smart saves, his handling has been top rate. His distribution still needs a bit of work on, but goalkeeping wise, he's been first rate today. And here comes Burnley. Rodriguez in the area. Good save from Pickford. That's the best we've seen from Jordan Pickford in the Everton goals. That should have been 2-0 to the Clarets. One ball over the top from Nick Pope caused a lot of confusion in the Everton defence. It broke kindly there for Jay Rodriguez. He wasn't offside at that moment in time. Would have been interested if it had gone to VAR, whether that would have been offside. He was definitely on. It was on by a good couple of yards as well. Rodriguez. Excuse me. Rodriguez could have been better advised to... Excuse me, I've just lost my breath. To taking it round the goalkeeper there. That should have been 2-0 to the Clarets. No ifs, no buts, no maybes. Well, it's still a long way to go yet from Burnley taking 3 points, but if they can hang on and get 3, they'll be out of the drop zone. And if City could do us a big favour by beating Fulham, well, the Saturday will be even made more sweeter as that ball comes in there. It was a dangerous cross there from Gomez. It was turned away from Ben Mee, but the flag has got up, in fact, for offside. Good decision again from Gary Bezic. The assistant on the far side. Good spot, this. Richarlison again, cut it in. In fact, it was the first phase of play that the referee's assistant caught offside. This is the Chris Wood. It's actually Chris Wood, not Jay Rodriguez, who's had his shot saved. And I think Wood there could have been better advised there to go round the goalkeeper as opposed to shooting straight at it, because in fairness to Jordan Pickford, and I'm not trying to criticise Wood here, by the way, I think it would have been an awful lot difficult. But Wood did what he did. I mean, he hit the shot, but I mean, the way that Pickford positioned himself there, you have to say, was top quality, and it made it so difficult for Wood, who should have really, if he'd have had his wits about him, should have really tried to round the goalkeeper and then put the ball into what would have been an empty net. But the chance has passed by, and it still remains 1-0 with 2 minutes of the first half still to go of normal time. And of course in the second half we'll see the welcome return of man of the match voting, the JB man of the match vote. We'll come to that in a second because Rodriguez had just gone in there for a second, but the first touch just let him down from that overhead ball. But Burnley showing signs that they are coming back to their best a little bit here. If they can get in at the break, a goal up, then it will make Sean Dyche's team talk that little bit more easier. In Spain, Levante 1, Getafe 0. Marti after 5 minutes, and Getafe have apparently had a player sent off. So it's happening in Spain here in the lunchtime games over there. And there's a Burnley player down at Anthony Taylor. It's played on, and Burnley are urging the referee to stop it, and in stopping it, in fact, he has done. And this is a problem now for Burnley. Now, I want to know what happened there, because there was a bit of a clash. I didn't see it originally. I think it might be Josh Barno, who's just come back from injury. Ooh, I think it was a clash there involving Brownhill and Gomez. 50-50 ball. Gomez, in fairness, did get the ball, then Brownhill clashed in there. I don't think there was any cause for injury. I don't think the Everton player meant it. But unfortunately for the Clarets, Brownhill's come off the worst. And looking at the bench, really, they haven't got many midfield options, really. I mean, Ashley Barnes, Eric Peters, Matty Vidra, Kevin Long, Jimmy Dunn and Josh Benson. I mean, Josh Benson could come in there as well. But, well, we've got an injury problem again for the Clarets. This is not what we want at this moment in time. We've already lost Jack Court for some amount of time. There's been the injury to Goodmanson, and hopefully Brownhill should be okay for the second half. The saving grace of getting an injury at this late stage of the first half is that the physiotherapists have got an extra 15 minutes to buy to get the figure. I have to say, the more I look at that, the more that is an actual dangerous tackle on Josh Brownhill. I would like to. Well, I'm going to check the analysis at half-time when I'm off the air and come to my conclusions then. But the more I look at that replay, the more I think free kick. I think Anthony Taylor may have failed to spot a clear and obvious foul there. Maybe VAR should have got involved there, but it's his buts and maybes. We'll have a look at the analysis at half-time when I'm off the air for 15. But at the moment, it's Burnley 1. Everton 0. We've played 1 minute of the 3. Can Burnley hold out till half-time? They've done a really good job defensively today, the Clarets, it's got to be said. There's been 1 or 2 dodgy moments, of course. Burnley don't make it easy for themselves, of course. There we go. Kevin's on. Wood doesn't have the temperament to go around anyone. Second best Kiwi player ever. Second best. Anyway, here's Brado. I'm pleased to report he's up and okay, and Burnley are back to their full complement of 11. As we come towards the end of the second minute of 3 of stoppage time here at the Turf. Burnley 1, Everton 0. Rady's goal after 3 minutes is the difference between the two sides. There's been an amazing save during the first half by Pope. That looked a foul there on a Burnley player. This could be controversial as Richarlison crosses back and in comes Calvert-Lewin to score. And I have to say that is injustice, because I felt there was a foul in the build-up there, and Everton get an equalising goal, but I felt there was a foul in the build-up. Burnley will be incensed by that. Everton back in it, but I think there was a foul in the build-up, and I think Anthony Taylor. I have to stress I think there's a foul there. I think this should be VAR checked. No, there's a clear foul there on Westwood by Allen. It should be a foul. Referee was a disgrace there, and that's, for me, is a clear foul. I've seen lesser fouls given for that. That's a clear push, and I hope Mike Dean is going to check this out, because I honestly think that goal should not stand because of the foul. Nothing wrong with the way Calvert-Lewin finished it off. It was a good finish. Not disputing that, nor the fact that Richarlison was onside. It's the foul in the build-up that I have my grave doubts about. And I don't think that goal should be allowed to stand, but it is allowed to stand. And I think that's a disgrace from the referee. And from Mike Dean as well. Biased against the Clarets again. How on earth... We're going to be talking about VAR again today. The referee is blown for half-time, but there's going to be uproar, certainly from Sean Dyche, and I wouldn't be surprised in the least if he confronts the referee at the end of the first half, because that was a clear push on Westwood, which allowed Everton an equaliser that should have not stood. Ancelotti's team have got away with one, and Sean Dyche must be furious at that. And I hope he confronts the referee, because that goal, let me be fair, that goal should never have been allowed to stand. It is an absolute disgrace. Burnley took the lead after 2 minutes. Deservedly so. Robbie Brady with a right foot rasper put them in front. Nick Pope made a great save to deny Calvert-Lewin as well. Wood had a chance to go 2-0 ahead. But a very controversial equalising goal from Calvert-Lewin, and there will be outrage from the Burnley players. And I'm sure supporters listening to this will feel outraged as well, because Calvert-Lewin equalised. There was nothing wrong with the cross or the goal itself. It was well taken from Calvert-Lewin. Let's stress that, but it was the foul in the build-up by Alan, which has really got my goat up here a little bit. This is where VAR should be cancelling goals like that out. It's a total injustice that Burnley are level at half-time. It's 1-1 at the break. We're going to take a 10-minute break, because and I want to listen to what the pundits have to say. I honestly think Burnley have been robbed there at the end of the first half. But at half-time here at the Turf, it's Burnley 1, Everton 1. Half-time at the Majeski, Reading 1, 10-man Nottingham Forest 0. But we're going to take a 10-minute break. And after that break, we'll have the whole second half for you of Burnley against Everton. 1-1 at half-time. Welcome back to the turf, where controversy surrounds this game where Burnley should have had a clear free kick in the build-up to Everton's equaliser, and the referee did not, or VAR for some reason did not, stupidly in my opinion, did not consult the referee that he needed another look. Everton got away with murder, and now they're level at 1-1 as we go into the second half. Everton attacking the cricket field stand. Burnley have just got to put that setback behind them and go again, because they really did win the first half, in my opinion. They scored a really good goal to put them in front, and then there might have been a case where Gomez should have been sent off there for a foul on maybe Brownhill, but then the shove from Allen was ridiculous, and how Anthony Taylor did not see fit to give that a free kick, I will never know in a month of Sundays. But it's gone now, and Burnley have got to regroup and make sure they don't lose this game. Here's Calvert-Lewin on the far side. The cross comes in, and it could call for Richarlison. What a good block that is. Gomez with the shot. They claim handball, but the referee doesn't give it. I will give you a recap of the teams, and in fact the referee's given a foul in the penalty area to Burnley and a free kick. So let me run through the teams for you. Burnley unchanged from the first half. Pope in goal, Matt Lowton, James Tarkowski, Ben Mee, Charlie Taylor across the back. Then Brady, who scored the opening goal, who just made a good block there actually, before Gomez's shot was charged away by Lowton the second time. Just looking at a replay. Robbie Brady, the goal scorer for Burnley. Westwood, Brownhill, McNeil. And then up front, Chris Wood and Jay Rodriguez. On the bench of the Clarets, Peacock Farrell, Ashley Barnes, Eric Peters, Matty Ridra, Josh Benson, Kerry Long and Jimmy Dunn. Everton, who have made an enforced change, Delph off and Gomez on during the first half. As we look at the villain of the piece, Anthony Taylor, I wouldn't take a point, Kevin. We need 3. We need to get out the bottom 3. Everton's goal side with Pickford in goal, Godfrey, Mina, Keane, Awobi, then Decore, Allen, Delph, Yamas, Rodriguez, Calvert-Lewin. Well, Delph is off actually. Gomez is on. Delph off. Gomez on. Rodriguez, Jammers, that is. Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. So it's all up for grabs here. 1-1. Controversial equaliser for Everton after Burnley had the lead for most of the first half. Calvert-Lewin equalising with practically the last kick of the first half, but there was surely a clear foul in the build-up inside the centre circle. Free kick against Calvert-Lewin, who's very lucky to have his goal allowed, really. Not his fault, it was the referee's fault, really, as the free kick is getting given to Burnley. Can they recover from that setback, the Clarets, and get themselves back in the lead? A lead which I thought they just about merited going into half-time before that injustice of the equaliser. That buff is threaded in brilliantly from the far side. Lowton's putting 1 or 2 very good, dangerous crosses so far in this game. Here's another chance for McNeil. That was poor by his standards. He hasn't had a good season, really, McNeil. Hasn't really performed to the levels that we know he's capable of. He's got to play with that fear and the streak, but Burnley have got themselves a very fortunate throw-in deep inside Everton territory. This could be a good little moment for the Clarets. Taylor now has to go retreat. This is the frustration when you watch Burnley. Ben Mee gets it forward. Now Taylor. Taylor tries to get it forward. Now Wood. And that is a poor ball from Wood. Rodriguez was to his left and he went central. That was the wrong decision, the wrong ball to play there. Should have looked there, Chris Wood. As the ball is hooked back by Lowton brilliantly there to goalkeeper Nick Pope. Nearly 4 minutes gone in the second half. Burnley 1, Everton 1. Calvert-Lewin with the equaliser right on the stroke of half-time after Robbie Brady had given the Clarets a 3rd minute early lead. As the ball is swept back by Godfrey, back to goalkeeper not Nick Pope, Jordan Pickford, I should say. Jordan North's name being brandished around the advertising audience. Was robbed in I'm a Celebrity last night by Giovanna Freccia on a bent voting system, and some bent refereeing has robbed the Clarets of what should be still a lead. As the ball goes out again towards Brady, who keeps it in tremendously well. And Lowton now plays a 1-2 with Brady, and he's going forward again. He's off again. He looks threatening as an attacking force, and then in the end, Burnley run out of ideas, and Everton get possession here. And now this could be trouble. And the ball goes over towards Richarlison, but Tchaikovsky sticking to him like super glue. Gets a good foot in there. And now the ball back in towards the centre circle, but it's Everton who have it now deep in the Burnley half with Decore. Now Iwobi. Ben Mee and Charlie Taylor to face him. James Rodriguez, who can shoot, and it's a good shot from Rodriguez. James, that is, hits it well with his left foot, and Nick Pope having to stretch away like Stretch Armstrong to get across there and make an absolutely world-class save here. That's going up into the top corner. There's no doubt about that. And that, to me, was a great save. It was almost reminiscent of Harry Kane being denied from a similar range a couple of years ago by Tom Heaton. And Burnley went on to win that match. But it's an Everton corner. Played in, and Lowton gets it away from his own 6-yard box. That ball will guard a play, though. And Everton have possession, and it's deep inside Burnley territory. It's 1-1 here at the Turf. Thanks to some iffy refereeing from Mr. Anthony Taylor. Very poor refereeing indeed. I took to Facebook to vent my frustration at the referee, and I won't go on air and say what I said on there. Meanwhile, here comes a chance here now for Richarlison. 3 or 4 Burnley players in the middle, but it's a poor cross in the end from Richarlison from the far side, and Pope can let that go out of play by the dead ball line and a goal kick. As we see that good curling effort. This is from James Rodriguez, and there would have been no arguments from me if that had gone in. It would have been a world-class goal. There's been a goal. Russ has reported for us here down at the Majeski Stadium. We're heading to Nottingham Forest now. Michael Morrison is the score. And Nick Caton, oh dear me, he's going for 2-1 Everton. Ooh, that's not gone down well. I'm only kidding. Well, it's his prediction. He's entitled to have a prediction. And I can see the reason as to why. Everton are a good side on paper, and I can understand why he's gone for that, to be fair. But Burnley have given as good as they've got. It's a good job I've got a sense of humour, New Kate, and that's why I like you so much. You're brilliant, but nothing wrong with that at all. I'll bring you news on how you can vote for the Man of the Match award in a second hour Man of the Match award that we do for every live match we do, and the same will be applied for this afternoon's or this evening's match on JB Sports, where we're going to be bringing you live coverage of West Ham, live commentary coverage of West Ham against Manchester United from the London Stadium. What a game that promises to be. West Ham in very good form. Up in the higher reaches of the table. Doing really well under former United boss David Moyes, who faces his old side, who are really under a lot of pressure at the moment in terms of league positioning. Had a very bad Champions League defeat to PSG in the week. We'll see how they respond on JB Sports with live audio commentary of that game at 5:15 this evening on JB Sports. And again, I'll be the fox in the box, and we will have supporters for that one as well. Should be great fun, no doubt, as Gomez tries to play the ball in, hits the defender. I think it was Josh Brownhill in the end. Everton have possession, but the Clarets have got 8 or 9 players back, and in the end, that 2 banks of 4 showed its worth again, as the ball was a poor ball in the end and went straight through to Nick Pope. Very tame sort of pass there, and Burnley now look to try and patiently, I should say, play it out from the back. And that's a good ball looking towards the run of Rodriguez, who's Robert Wood, who's worked hard without any. I have to say the 2 strikers have been a little isolated for the Clarets, but they've had chances. Certainly Rodriguez had at the start with 1-0. Could have put the Clarets 2 up, and then Chris Wood should have gone round the goalkeeper and not gone for the shot. And Pickford in a lot of trouble, and he was barged off the ball, and the referee has deemed that to be a fair challenge, and Rodriguez is there, but the referee has blown up, and Pickford's in trouble here. Russ has gone for a Burnley victory. Well, we know what side your bread is buttered on, Russ. Well done. And I'll go for I'll go for a sneaky Leeds draw tonight against Chelsea. That's the late game later on. Chelsea Leeds rather buoyed by a very good win at Everton last week. Should give the Chorus a bit of confidence. This is Brady now. Far side. Robbie Brady. Can he skin his men? He's got a corner. That'll do for Burnley. They've got a corner. This is where Burnley are at their most dangerous. Can they produce the goods here? Dwight McNeil is going over to the far side to take the corner. What a game that's going to be down at Villa Park in early January. Aston Villa against Liverpool. Surely one of the times that around. So too is Marine, who take on Jose Mourinho's table-topping Tottenham. But here in the Premier League, with 10 minutes of the second half gone, Burnley have got themselves a corner. Mees up, Tarkowski's up, Wood's up. Here's McNeil's corner into the penalty area. The goalkeeper flapped and got away with it. In fact, he was fouled there, and he's got away with it there, Pickford, for me. I don't think there was a foul there. McNeil's been penalised. Let's have a look at it again. Well, I don't think they did anything wrong. Another appalling decision from Anthony Taylor. Brownhill was the guilty party. I don't know what Anthony Taylor spotted there. I don't think that was a foul. I do honestly think, and I say this with a lot of, and I do say this with a lot of the goodwill in the world to all goalkeepers, that goalkeepers, I think, from those situations, from dead ball situations, get far, far too much protection from referees, and it's been the case now for so many years. And it makes us commentators blood boil, really, when we see fouls for as little, for very little in it than that on a goalkeeper. I just find it very bizarre why referees would just stick up for goalkeepers in those situations. You know, this is where it just takes the fun out the game, really. Anyway, here come Everton now with a whirl. We're trying to get something going here. Calvert-Lewin, who scored the equaliser. He's been in good form, in fairness, Calvert-Lewin, but that's the first real bad thing he's done in the game. He's put the ball inexplicably out into touch, and Burnley get themselves a very cheap throw-in, but they'll take it nonetheless. Just past the 50, we're just coming up towards the 57th minute mark, and whilst we've got a little break, let's tell you, in around about 4 minutes from now, the 60th minute until the 90th minute, you've got a chance to vote for the Man of the Match award. The JB Man of the Match. All you've got to do, it's simple really. Text the name of the player in the comments, or put the name of the player you want to see win our supplementary award in the comments section, in the live comment section on the right of the screen, and then you hashtag it with the hashtag JBMLTM. We're no lefty woke brigade society here. As the ball is knocked forward again and a good cross away. If it was on the BBC, they'd be calling it player of the match. We're calling it man of the match because it's a man's game, really. And that's not sexist. And don't have anybody tuning in and saying that's a sexist remark, please, because it has been. It's a game played. This game has been played by men, not women. So in that respect, it's man of the match. Anyway, here's a Welby now for Everton. One apiece here in a very good competitive game. That voting starts around about the 60th minute dead. So I'll tell you, I will give you an indication at the 60th minute mark, 2 minutes from now, and I will tell you when the vote opens, and it closes on bang on the 90-minute mark dead as well. So you've got half an hour. In 2 minutes' time, you've got a half an hour voting window, and the player who gets the most votes wins. If it's a draw, it's a shared award. Here's Jordan Pickford kicking away for Everton. It's at 1-1 at the moment if you've just joined us. The Clarets won, the Toffees won, and what a game, what a second half it promises to be. Still deadlocked. Really, a point won't do for the Clarets. They will feel aggrieved by certain decisions from Mr. Taylor, the referee. Just a minute and 15 away, Newcaton, and I will tell you when to vote. Start voting. Don't you worry about that. Leave that one to me. Here's Ben Mee now. No pun intended. Gets the ball back to the goalkeeper, Robert Pope, sorry. And the ball comes away again. Taylor takes the loose ball, gets the ball over the halfway line, finds Jay Rodriguez. Just to remind you, Burnley do have two very good strikers on the bench in Ashley Barnes, who's yet to score this season, incidentally, and, of course, Matty Vidra, who's chomping at the bit to get some game time here, the Czech Republic international. And the ball over to the far side here. This looks dangerous. It's that man again with Charlton. Lawton's got to stick to him like glue, and the ball loops and just over the crossbar. Dwight McNeil there, very dangerous territory. Not good defending there. He got away with it, McNeil. He's not the best defensively. And what was he thinking of there, trying to put the goalkeeper in all sorts of trouble? I don't think it was McNeil. It was Brownell, actually. Sorry. Probably giving Dwight McNeil a disservice. It's Everton's fourth corner, incidentally. Burnley have had 2. And we're 5 seconds away from the man of the match voting. We'll tell you after this corner, as this corner comes in from James Rodriguez. It's knocked away. Westwood knocks it out. And now the voting can begin for man of the match. You know what to do. Name of the player in the live comments section on the right of your screen. And then, if you're watching it on a laptop, underneath, if you're on a mobile, name of the player, hashtag it JBMLTM, please. Here's Charlie Taylor for Burnley. In the 60th minute of the game, finds Brownhill, who finds Taylor, Tarkowski, I should say, and here's Westwood to Lawton, who's had a decent game going forward, not so going back, with Charlton in to cross for the equalising goal, but it will be a very controversial moment because there was a foul in the build-up, which wasn't spotted inexplicably from Anthony Taylor, our referee. Can the Clarets make it pay? Well, Ross has gone for Lawton. Well, he's done okay, actually, Matt Lawton, today. Here's Charlie Taylor, the other wing-back, going forward, and he's going forward again. Rodriguez holds the ball up, however. Finds Brownhill, spots Brady in space on the far side. Good, intelligent ball. Now then, they've gone back again. Here comes Tarkowski. They need to get the ball forward, not backwards. Now then, McNeil needs to use his skills. He's done well there. He's found Taylor. Can Taylor dig out a cross? He can. Not a very good one, mind you. Brownhill keeps it alive. Brady, who's had a good match himself, scoring a fantastic goal. Strisco, incidentally, Rachel Brown finished, was saying at half-time, in 1 year and 2 days or something or other. Rachel Brown finished, of course, a former Everton women's goalkeeper. Of course, a big Burnley fan, was brought up in Nelson, went to Nelson and Cone College, of course, which is a local college about 2 or 3 miles away here from the turf. And here comes Brownhill now, deep inside Everton territory. Good little spell this for the Clarets. Tozzle's taken, says hello, good afternoon to you, Tozzles. I hope you're having a good day. Don't forget to vote for the Man of the Match award. Name of the player, but you must hashtag it with the hashtag JBMLTM for the vote inferior to count. Just like Russ has done there. You can do the hashtag first or second, or the player first or the player name of the player second. Doesn't matter if it's a full name. Just a surname will do. But Russ has set the standard, and now that's the standard you must follow. As well, I think he's given that as a foul there, Taylor. But I must say he's tripped over his own shoelaces there, hasn't he? No wonder Sean Dyche is frustrated. If he's given a free kick for something as trivial as that, then I think that's a joke, really, from Anthony Taylor, the referee. I think to give that as a foul on Godfrey when he's tripped over his own shoes, or his own boots, rather, I think is a bit of a joke, really, from the referee, who really has not had his best game. He's not one of the best referees I've ever seen in my lifetime, Anthony Taylor. He's not the worst by a long chalk. I think we know who the worst one might be, and he's our VAR. He's the VAR on today's game. But this is Welby with the cross into the penalty area. It's a dangerous one, and Burnley get away with it there. And Gomez being spoken to by referee Taylor. I wonder if well, I have to say, Gomez, actually, that was a very good piece of skill there, because the Burnley player was all over him like a sort of a nappy rash. That's a nice cross in there, and he just evaded everybody. It went into the gap there between yellow and claret shirts, and luckily for Burnley, it went away. Burnley have possession, up forward again. A chase here for Chris Wood against Ben Godfrey, or rather Welby, I should say. The ball back to the goalkeeper. Please don't spam. Yeah, New Caton is one of our moderators now, folks. I could just to remind you folks, please keep your comments clean, of course. We've got 10-year-olds listening as well, like New Caton and people like that. We are a family programme. This is way beyond the 9:30 watershed, and I appreciate clean comments on the comment section. Otherwise, I have the power, as it's my channel, to take it down. Oh, I'm sorry, New Caton. No, I thought I'd try and make you look a bit younger. You know, when you get to my age, New Caton, you get to 37, you get to your late 30s like I am now. Seriously, mate, it's actually nice to feel young and not old. Believe you and me. When you get to my age in about 20 years' time, New Caton, you'll know exactly how I feel. Anyway, here comes Taylor now. Here he comes now, finds Rodriguez. Here's back to Taylor once more. Taylor goes down, and the referee says no. Well, that just goes with the grain of the poor decisions that Anthony Taylor has made in the game thus far. I can't see what was wrong with that. I really can't. But there you go. That's, yeah. New Caton says, my dad's 48. You should ask him how he feels. I'm sure he'll feel exactly the same as I am. Here's Dwight McNeil anyway. Back to the game. Oh, what lovely skills from McNeil. He's got 3 in the middle and he hits the defender. The cross, and McNeil knows a better ball in, and that might have been a goal for the Clarets. The danger's not over yet for Everton, because Burnley have got themselves the 3rd corner of the game, and if they can make something from this with 25 minutes to play, then Burnley might just end up still in profit. And Westwood will take the corner, and we know what he can do from corners. We've seen him do it time and time again. Here's another one. Right in on the goalkeeper. Everton got numbers back. The shot came in from Brady, looking for his 2nd goal of the day. It was charged away and Everton survive, but they've got some more defending to do because it's a Burnley throw. Alan got the ball away in the end. I think he might have blocked Brady's shot actually, but there's a bit of a crowd. He wasn't the best corner in fact from Westwood, and I have to say Alan there, good defended. Because Brady's shot might have been going places. That looked a foul there on Wood, but the referee has waved it away. The last 5 minutes possession, a whopping 80% for the Clarets to 20% Everton. So Burnley having the better of the last 5 or 10 minutes of this game. But still it's deadlocked at 1-1. And this is the ball forward again, and Taylor might be struggling here with Calvert-Lewin's considerable pace. Back to Olozawobi again on the right hand side, infield again to Decore, and now Gomez chips it out to the far side, and now Richarlison takes it on the left. Richarlison plays their ball in. It's a poor ball and intercepted superbly there by the Burnley defence, but they lose possession. Well, Jay Rodriguez loses possession, but it's Iwobi now on the ball for Everton. 67 minutes gone. Keep voting for your man in the match. Name of the player, and then hashtag it with JBMLTM, or you could hashtag it and put the name of your player second. It doesn't matter. As long as you've hashtagged it with JBMLTM, it doesn't matter. 1-1 is the score. And here come Everton with Mina. Back to Keane, who's feeling better about things on his return to Turf Moor. Everton haven't got the best record at the Turf. They've lost... I think they've won 1 of their home matches. That was one of the matches here at Turf Moor in Premier League history. They've lost, I think, the rest of them. I'm just trying to think. They've lost 4 out of their last... I think they've lost 5 out of 6. The only win coming back in 2018 when they won 5-1 on a very poor afternoon. I think it was on a Boxing Day. And I think, yeah, and they scored 5 goals to 1. They won 5... comfortable 5-1 winners. And I think they've won 3-1. In fact, they've won 2 at Turf Moor. They won 3-1 in 2014 in October. So that is one there as James lines up the shot just on the edge of the penalty box, and it was well charged away by the resolute Burnley defence. Still trying to show their strong jaw. The ball played in there rather dangerously again by Iwobi, but Ben Mee was close at hand to get it away. But the Clarets are under a lot of pressure at the moment. This really is backs to the wall stuff there. New Caton's voted for Brady. 1 apiece for Loughton and for Brady, the 2 right-hand side players for the Clarets this afternoon. If you're an Everton fan, do you think an Evertonian should win it? Anyway, here's Iwobi. Plenty of space. Taylor needs to pick him up quicker. The ball played in. Oh, and Burnley get away with it. and the ball was played in, and the Clarets just about got it away. There's a Burnley player gone tumbling there. There may have been a foul. The referee has got to stop it there. I don't know who it is. I can't tell who it might be. Probably it's Chris Wood. Ali Beattie, the physio, is on close at hand, and Chris Wood is not the sort to go down lightly. So this could be quite a serious one, and to lose Chris Wood would be a major blow for the Clarets. Had injury problems last season, which allowed Rodriguez and Vidra some game time, which they both took full advantage of. No doubt that the Welby was onside there. Taylor was very slow on the uptake to get across there, and in fact it was some very good defending in there from, I think it was Josh Brownell, and then a really silly foul, I think it was by Godfrey, I think, on Wood. And it was a very vicious challenge. I think it's Chris Wood, I'm not sure, but yes, it is number 9 there, I can see on the shorts. And he's really out for the count. I think Ali Beattie's using the old smelling salts routine, which you see in every boxing ring. But this was the chance again. It was a dangerous wicky cross, but you've got to hand it to Josh Brownell there, and that is an awful challenge. Wood went down clattered. He looks a bit groggy there, does Chris Wood. Hopefully that's nothing too serious. It's a tough cookie, is Chris Wood, New Zealand international. Of course, they'll do the obligatory tests. I'm a Burnley fan. That's why you might have heard me at the end of the first half outraged at a poor refereeing decision. I am a Claret, but I'm trying not to show too much of the bias that comes with being a Claret. But Burnley need points. Burnley need points now to get themselves out of trouble. Man City, Fulham, another one of our relegation rivals in action a little bit later on in the piece, as we see Fulham players on screen arriving for that game. And here they come again. That's 3 o'clock kickoff, incidentally, at the Etihad this afternoon. Here's Brady now on the far side for Burnley. You're a Chelsea fan. Well, you've got a tough one against Leeds this afternoon, or this evening rather. That's not one of the games being covered by the channel this afternoon. The other one today will be West Ham against Manchester United. Burnley have won a corner. Michael Keane. Rodriguez, I think, wants a penalty. Well, let's see if he's got a case here. There's the ball into the penalty area. That's a corner. King gets the ball. If he's given a goal kick, then that's an injustice of a decision. Not a good decision, of course, for this referee. I'm afraid Anthony Taylor has not been up to the standard one expects from a Premier League referee. He's been appalling all afternoon long. It's been a disgrace. Burnley 1, Everton 1. Corner. It's a goal kick when it should really have been a Claret's corner. Anthony Taylor's made some very basic referee mistakes this afternoon. There's no doubt about that. Here's Jay Rodriguez. Takes it down nicely on the chest. Here he is again. Woody's up and okay again. And it takes a lot for Chris Wood to be out of the action. He's a tough old cookie. Well built as well. Big stocky centre forward for the Clarets. Here's Godfrey now on the far side. Still 1-1 it remains as we go deep into the last... Coming up to the last quarter of an hour. This is a Welby, and Taylor should be much more tighter to him. And in the end, he gets the blocking. Can he prevent it from going for a corner? Well, Ben Mee certainly can. And gets a goal kick, throw in there. As a Welby comes in. Ashley Barnes, we're going to see there. Well, I'm not sure Ashley Barnes would be the right man at the stage of the game. Lacking in confidence at the moment, Ashley. But he has got a good record against Everton. Scored the winner a couple of years ago when they won 2-1 in early 2018, March 2018, when they finished 7th, the Clarets, and got into the Europa League places. So he has history with the Clarets. In the head-to-head stakes, before today, they played 12 times in Premier League history. Burnley have achieved 5 victories. Everton 7, and no draws in any of those games. At the moment, we're on course for the first ever draw between these two in head-to-head Premier League history. Now then, here's a chance now for Everton to come forward. New Cater, no problem. Have a good afternoon and enjoy the bike ride. And hopefully we'll see you later for the West Ham Manchester United match. Here comes Decore, gets the crossing from the right hand side. It's a poor cross and Burnley should deal with that one okay with Robbie Brady. Oh, Brady! Oh, goodness me, that was not a lot to spare, but Burnley just about got it away. The ball's run out of play and it will be an Everton throw, I think, on the halfway line on the far side, just below, just right in front of Sean Dyche. Burnley made a change. J-Rod has got off. Well, that is a surprise. I'm a bit surprised at that, but Barnes and Ward up front, but they're two predictable strikers. I'm very surprised that Rodriguez has gone off. I thought he might have took Chris Wood off there, to be fair, having had his injury. So I'm a little surprised that J Rodriguez has gone off there. Quarter of an hour to go. Burnley 1, Everton 1. Dyche has made a possible questionable sub there. I honestly think that should have been Chris Wood going off there. And Burnley are now going to be lacking a bit of pace up front as well, which is not a good sign because Barnes doesn't have the necessary pace. But you never know. Burnley might surprise us all yet. Maybe Dyche might get it right. Who knows? Here is Chris Wood trying to hold up the play, but he's lost the possession. That's the problem when you've got your two strikers really isolated. But there's a quarter of an hour left of this game, and still anybody's game here. It's anybody's for the man of the match at the moment. Being shared by Matt Lowton and Robbie Brady at Burnley. Looks like it could be a shared award. Burnley 1, Everton 1. Here's a Welby for the Toffees as the ball is played out towards the Corey. Still one apiece here at the turf. In Jordan North's happy place. Here comes Godfrey. Just gets the ball back. And Keane, the Everton captain, gets the ball forward. Now looking Everton now. And now they're going backwards. And now Burnley should be sensing blood here. Barnes and Wood should be trying to charge the goalkeeper down here. No, giving that up now. There's just no point in me doing it because I've still got a game to commentate on. So if it ends a draw, we'll give it as a shared award. But if we can get an outright winner today, that would be fantastic. Here's Charlie Taylor going forward, and he goes down. Sure, he's got a blow for that. Yes, at long last, referee. The Corey clearly chopped Taylor from behind, and there was no doubt about it as far as I was concerned. Free kick to the Clarets in a very dangerous position on the left hand side. Now then, Dwight McNeil, how about a great delivery? How about a very good delivery that will make it so difficult for Everton here? Ben Mees forward from the back, so too is Tarkowski. Wood and Barnes, you'll bet your life they're in there too. Will it be Westwood? I think it might be Westwood, you know. Keane and Barnes, former teammates, tangling with each other there. Referee's got to watch for pushing there, especially from the yellow-shirted Evertonians. Can Burnley come up with a late goal here? Westwood into the penalty area. It's knocked away as far as Brownhill. Brownhill can get a shot off and wide. I think he might have got a deflection. I think it's a corner. Hit Calvert-Lewin. It's a corner kick for Burnley. And Josh Brownhill so near. And so near to winning it possibly for Burnley. But yet so far. But still they have a corner and the danger isn't over for Everton. Westwood to take it from the near side. In he goes towards the 6-yard area. Everton getting half away. Comes to Brady here. If he can get the ball under control, he can. He'll have to go back, mind you. And go back he does to Lowton and then back to Pope. Just a bit bunched up in the penalty area. We've got 12 minutes, 11 and a half minutes plus stoppage time to go. Burnley within an ace of going 2-1 up in a game. When certainly the second half terms they've dominated, and in goes Barnes and Wood as well. And Mina got a vital touch inside the 6-yard area. And Burnley are asking lots and lots of questions now as we go into the business end of the game. Can they steal 3 points away from Everton? Lovely cross in there. Wood getting in there. And Mina just getting the touch, otherwise Wood was in there to score. McNeil now, what about a good delivery from Dwight McNeil? Can he get that delivery into the area? He needs to get this right. Burnley are forcing a lot of corners. In it goes towards the 6-yard box. The goalkeeper flapped it in again. And Everton have... Well, they've got a free kick, but the referee's allowed it to go on. And now this could be trouble because Everton have got an advantage. And if they play it right, they could be in here. And now they've got a Welby forward here. This could be dangerous, but Burnley get sufficient numbers back and deny Everton rather for the moment anyway. This is Gomez. Gomez now trying to trick Taylor. Gomez with the shot. It's over into the cricket field stand, and Burnley survived that little passage. Whew. Oh, you cannot pause for breath. Keep voting for your man of the match, folks. Name of the player, hashtag JBMRTM. Come on, guys, get chatting in the comment section. We're going to see Gylfi Sigurdsson replace Decore. Sigurdsson, the former Swansea City man. Can Burnley snatch a late victory here? Nick Pope with the goal kick. The game live from Turf Moor, an empty Turf Moor, but a very dramatic game going on here at the Turf. Burnley have really showed their mojo in the second half and have been very unlucky to be pegged back at 1-1. Everton, in fact, are at home next Saturday evening against Chelsea, so that'll be another tough game for the men from Goodison Park as the ball is out of play on the far side. It's still a throw-in. Oh, well, it's been a tough old day at the Turf, but it's been a good game to watch if you're a neutral. But here's Calvert-Lewin, Pope off limits, and good save. We'd have to check for the offside, of course. Mike D will be watching that very closely, I'm sure, at Stockley Park. But Barnes has won a free kick, I think, against Mina. That's a good free kick for Burnley to win. Now, was Calvert-Lewin offside? It wouldn't have mattered because Pope had made the save in any case. Was he offside here? Oh, he wasn't. He timed that run to perfection there, Calvert-Lewin. It's got to be said. And Nick Pope was alert there to the danger. He's made some truly remarkably good saves, Nick Pope. He's had a good match. And best of all, he's done it in front of Gareth Southgate. He's very unlucky not to have a clean sheet to his name today. But he's played magnificently, former Charlton goalkeeper. Has won 3 or 4 caps for his country so far. England don't have another game, in fact, until March, as they prepare to go for the European Championships, of course. And the ball goes out over towards the far side, but McNeil, Allen has conceded the corner and Burnley up another one. I'd make that about 3 or 4 in about 10 minutes. Can Burnley snatch victory? 8 minutes to go. 7.5 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. Tarkowski's up, Ben Mee's up, Soto is Brownhill, and the header one, and a great save on the line by Pickford. And another corner, it was Chris Wood who got the header in from 6 yards. And you've got to say, that was a fantastic save. No doubt about it from Jordan Pickford. It may have been at a good height for him, but Wood did everything right, nodding it down into the ground, which made it a little awkward for Pickford, who, I have to say, made a very good sprawling save. Another corner, 2 in quick succession for the Clarets. Can they score from this one? Here comes the cross into the penalty area. It might break for Brady, but Gomez got there first. And Everton, for the moment anyway, survived, but Brady has won the ball back cleanly. And the referee's happy with that as the ball's played in, but it's hooked away again as Barnes and Cole were waiting. Here comes Ben Mee now for the Clarets. McNeil with a teasy cross. Can Brady rescue the situation? Yes, he can. He'll keep it in play anyway. And the ball played in there towards Ashley Barnes. Barnes turns. He'll get a second bite at the cherry. And it's a poor ball. And in the end, it evaded McNeil. But McNeil has suddenly walked up and got on his bike here. Here comes McNeil. He looks a different player. Oh, what a disappointing cross from the left-hand side. That was a disappointment. And Burnley now have seen another chance pass them by. But there's no doubt in their commitment and their will to try and win this game. And if they perform like that in most of their other games, but the rest of the season, they'll get out of this. There's no doubt about that. I've seen enough from the Clarets today Even if they don't, even if they just take a draw away, which is probably not what we want really, but I've seen enough fight and enough spirit in the game today to really convince myself that if they play like that for the rest of the season, then I think they'll get the points later on. I don't think there's much doubt about that. As long as now, it's just a question now of just don't lose. Now then, we're going to see Josh Benson come on. I would have took Wood off now at this point and put on Matty Vydra, but I'm not Sean Dyche. He's an experienced Premier League manager, 200 games in his belt. Josh Benson is about to come on. I think there's an injury here to... Oh, not Brady again. I'm hoping that's cramp. The last thing we need is Robbie Brady stretched off again. I mean, we get Goodmanson back, we lose him. We get Brady back, and we could end up losing him. This is what we don't want. This is the goal again. I do think there was a foul there in the build-up to the equaliser there. There's nothing wrong with the finish from Calvert-Lewin, but I do believe that there have been some iffy refereeing this afternoon thus far. But Brady has gone off, I think, and Josh Benson's gone on. Let's hope that's nothing too serious. But Josh Benson really didn't disgrace himself against Manchester City in what was really a poor team performance. But he could go away with it not too disgracefully, because he did okay actually in large periods of the game at the Etihad. I think he certainly saw the hard side of the game last week. Now, could he see the good side of the game here at Turf Moor, where Burnley have really cranked up the pressure with 4 minutes to go? But here's a well-being possession for Everton. Gets it forward from the right-hand side, but Ben Mee cuts it out. Excuse me. McNeil back to Taylor, who gets it forward. Well taken on the chest there by Ashley Barnes. And Burnley don't get the throw. I can't agree with that decision, I'm afraid, Anthony Taylor. That's a disgraceful decision. How many more decisions are we going to see from this referee? I will never know. If the fans were there, they'd be outraged. Here's Taylor, Robert Bartlett. Not Taylor. Wood, sorry. He loses possession here. The referee's performance, I'm afraid, has been shocking. Here come Everton again. They've got Cenk Tosun to come on in a minute. Here's Richarlison. 2 Burnley defenders flanking him. Left a bit of space here possibly for Gomez, and Gomez's ball aim was a poor one, and Burnley were able to get it clear. Benson trying to get it away for the Pirates. He did well there, the youngster. Did really well. Here's Pope getting it away. Up towards halfway. Benson again glides for it. Here's Lowton. Benson's free on the right if he chooses, but Lowton goes in field. Now Benson has it. Now, real chance here. Can he run at them? Oh, that's a nice ball. That's a nice ball into the path of McNeil. It's just gone to the right-hand flank. Back to Benson again. Go on, skid him. And he's going to go at him. At the Everton defenders. Really excited by Josh Benson when he gets on the ball. He looks very accomplished. A very well-nurtured player. Not a bad cross either, but Keane turning away and Burnley get a throw. Better from the Clarets now as they crank up the pressure. They're going for the winning goal. They may as well go for it now. There are 2 minutes for stoppage time to go. Cenk Tosun, the Czech, will come on for Everton. Dominic Calvert-Allen, is going to be the player that's going. Cenk Tosun, who has scored on this ground before in 2018 in March when Everton took a 1-0 lead, but lost it late on. To a late goal from, I think it was Barnes, that won it that day. And here he is now inside the penalty area. The flag stayed down. There's a shirt tuck there, I thought. There was a shirt tuck there, I thought. I think that's a penalty. He's clearly took Barnes' shirt there. And if Mike Dean sees that, I think VAR could get involved. I think he clearly took him there. It's a penalty. Corner only, but Burnley still could get the reward. 2 minutes to go. Are VAR going to check it? Are VAR going to check it? No, they're not. McNeil's spotting the ball up. Tarkowski forward. Ben Mee's forward. And the corner, those referee's obviously not happy. Well, that doesn't go against the grain, does it? Anthony Taylor now. I'm going to go at a couple of Burnley players. Well, that's not a surprise, but he's going to have the corner retaken again. Can Burnley get their noses in front in the last minute of normal time? And it goes towards the penalty area and knocked away once again. They're really giving it a good go here, the Clarets. You can't fault them for that. There was an injury picked up there by Keane, I think, in the midst of all that, which I think has been penalised by Anthony Taylor. Just a clash of heads, and I think the referee, I suppose, under the rules, has to stop it. But it's massive frustrating when you see your team on top. And I'm sorry, but Ben Godfrey, man of the match. I don't know what Martin Keown's on today, but I don't think he was nowhere near man of the match. Anyway, we're going to have we've got about 5 seconds of the voting to go, but I think it's going to be a draw on the man of the match between two Burnley players. Let's just break off for a second here. Everton had a chance to win it, and Pope sticks out a leg and has just saved Burnley a crucial point, possibly. 4 penalty minutes to enter the drama here. I'll confirm man of the match in a second, because Everton are on the attack here with a Welby. That should go out, and does. So Burnley survive, and Nick Pope, what a great piece of goalkeeping. Matt Lowton and Robbie Brady will share the man of the match award for the JB man of the match. So a shared award between two Burnley players. And well done to them. They've had good games. Meanwhile, we just see in a replay of this magnificent save here from Gylfi Sigurdsson from Nick Pope here. And he sticks out a right leg. And that right leg could be the difference between 1 point and no points. Oh, what a good piece of goalkeeping. Everton close to winning it themselves, and it would have been a smash and grab for sure, but considering that Burnley have dominated the second half, we've had a minute of the 4 to go. Well, a minute of the 4 gone. I'm losing the will to live here. Oh, what a dramatic finish. Here comes Ward now for the Clarets, and he loses possession. Barnes is in there to win the loose ball. Remember, we've got more Premier League action coming up for you at just after 5 o'clock with West Ham at home to Manchester United. United are in London town for a reunion against one of their old managers later on. And look at this. Oh, there was a man free. There might still fall for you. And the ball might break to McNeil. McNeil shoots. Oh, he scuffed it. He scuffed it. Dwight McNeil with a chance of a lifetime then to win the game. And that might just be that as we play 2 of the 4 minutes. Oh, dear me. Dwight McNeil. Oh, and he had more time than what he thought he had. And then has got it all wrong. He's had a poor season, really, by his standards, Dwight McNeil. Oh, he hits it into the ground, and he knows full well that was a chance wasted. Looks like it could be a point of peace, folks. It could be the first ever Premier League draw between the Clarets and the Toffees in Premier League history. They've not had a draw in their previous 12 games going into this. Burnley were looking for their 6th win. Everton were looking for their 8th win in the head-to-head stakes. Looks as if both teams are going to stay on 5 and 7 wins respectively. And we're going to see our first ever draw in Premier League football between the Clarets and the Toffees. But what a game it has been. Burnley's certainly been the better side. And I've got no doubts at all, even if it ends a draw today, which will be bitterly disappointing considering the referee's appalling call for the equaliser when it should have been a free kick to Burnley. Having said all that, there's lots of encouragement there for Burnley to take in terms of team performance, the way they've attacked Everton. They haven't let Everton have an easy time of it, and if they'd have taken 1 or 2 of the chances in the second half, Chris Ward especially, and Dwight McNeil just a moment ago, then it may have been a different story. 30 seconds of stoppage time remains here of a very well competitive game, and I've been proud of the Clarets this afternoon. A point is not a disaster. A second win would have been perfect, but under these circumstances, Everton could have stashed it at the end as well, so you take a point if Pope 6 saves like that. As the ball comes into the penalty area, that's going to run out of play, and that should be that as far as the action is concerned. Now, Pope's goal kick, and it will be all over. It will feel like a 2 points drop from Burnley's point of view, but in the end, you can't really moan at a draw. It is a draw, Everton will be happier of the two sides, no doubt about that. Burnley dominated, certainly the second half, had chances to win it. But Everton equally had a chance at the end as well through Gylfi Sigurdsson. But the Nick Pope's right leg has saved Burnley a point. Brady had scored in the first half after 3 minutes. That put the Clarets deservedly into the lead. Then a controversial moment right on the stroke of half-time. Allen clearly fouled Westwood in the build-up, but was allowed to get away with it. VAR didn't check it, which they should have done. And Richarlison's cross from the left was turned in by Calvert-Lewin, and that leaves a bad taste in the mouth. But Burnley, from a positive point of view, did not lose. That is not a bad result, really, but it takes them level 1 points with Fulham, who play Manchester City today. And if things go well for Manchester City, then I can see Burnley actually getting out of the bottom 3 by the end. It's finished also at the Majeski Stadium as the two England goalkeepers have a nice little conversation at the end. They both did themselves a world of justice today. Both made some excellent saves, and that will give Gareth Southgate a little bit of a selection edit going forward for England. So Everton, with that draw, moved them up to 7 points above Wolves and Manchester United, a point ahead of Manchester United, who play West Ham, who lie 5th at the moment, which is a very good point for them, which is a good start for them. Burnley, in fact, stay second bottom, so it's not really worked out as well as it should have been. But if West Brom and Fulham drop points, then it won't be the disastrous results, really. But could have done with getting out the bottom 3, really. But there we go. But we're going to be off in a second or two. We'll see if we can get a little bit of instant reaction at the end, and then leave you. But at the moment, it's finished 1-1 here as the teams make their way off. But despite the disappointment of Burnley not being able to get out the bottom 3, it's still an encouraging sign, really, for the Clarets, considering that they really dominated the second half, and in fairness, were very unfortunate not to get the 3 points here at the Turf this afternoon. But the referee's performance, I think, has to be looked at and questioned and scrutinised. I do think Mike Dean on the equaliser needs to be scrutinised, because that foul in the build-up, to me anyway, I'm sure other people will have a different view of it, looked very clear and very obvious as well. But there will be debating about that on television later on. There will be debates about it. We'll hopefully get some reaction before we leave you in about 10 minutes from now. Now I'm going to hot-foot it to the London Stadium for live commentary of West Ham taking on Manchester United, the mighty Manchester United at the London Stadium this evening. We'll be on the air about 5:15, 5:20. We'll have a full classified check from around the country. Premier League, Leagues 1 and 2, Panorama League, and of course the Scottish Leagues as well. Let's get some reaction. Robbie Brady is now talking with Des Kelly.
I think we both had chances. Played a good one at the end, and Pope made an incredible save, but it's no shock to any of us. He does it every day. He's incredible. But yeah, I thought we had some chances. We probably could have put it away, and then yeah, we'll take the point today that was in. It was a tough fought game, and I thought the lads stood up and done very well.
You're still looking for another league win, just the one all season so far, but that's not a reflection of the performance today, was it?
No, I felt like we performed well today, and it was a bit more like us. So once we're all pushing in the same direction, we can we know we have it in us. We've done it season in, season out, so we'll stick at it, and please God, there's more wins to come.
Well, it was a great start, an early goal from yourself, precious goal as well.
Yeah, no, it's always nice to get on the score sheet. I'm better so early, and it helps you settle in and bed into the game nice. But disappointed to concede.
Worst possible time just before half time. Well, not the worst possible time, but no help, was it?
No.
Different talk at half time, I'd imagine.
No, that's it. Yeah, it's different. It would have been better to go in at half time 1-up, but these things happen now. And like I said, we've all had chances throughout the game, and I thought we stuck at it well, and possibly could have nicked it, but I think a point in the end we'll take.
You've been in a few relegation scraps through the years with Hull and Norwich, and they haven't come off the worst on it, but compare that to this Burnley side.
I think it's different, you know what I mean? first season we went down, we had a season in the Premier League, and then in the second season with Hull we went down, and first season with Norwich. So I think it's just that learning and getting the understanding of the Premier League and knowing what it's about. Because it does creep up on you when you don't get them points, the draws, the wins. It soon creeps up on you, and you find yourself at that latter stage of the season. It's very tough. But like I said, we've done it for a number of years now and bedded in well. And I think we've got more than enough to get the job done.
Thanks, Robbie.
Thanks a million.
Yeah, well done there. And so the whistle goes there. A very good appraisal, I thought, from Robbie Brady, who really played well. One of our joint man of the match with us, along with Matt Lurton, who I thought played some really good stuff. We're going to stay with you. Hopefully we'll get Sean Dyche before the end of the afternoon here at the Turf. A very snowy, wintry scene here, high up on the hills, with the inspired people like the Bronte sisters, as I said at the start, at the top of the show. But my appraisal of Burnley's performance today, I actually thought it was a very, very good, well-constructed performance. Only undone really by a poor referee display from Anthony Taylor. He gave some very iffy decisions in Everton's favour, especially the equalising goal, which I've talked about it, I've looked at, dissected it, I've took it apart, put it together again, and I still maintain it was a foul. But the second half, Burnley's commitment and the will to try and win the game was there in abundance, and nobody, even though we will be a little disappointed that we've only taken 1 point, not 3 from this, what has encouraged me really going forward for the Clarets as a Burnley fan, and I'm proud to be one as well, by the way. But the way that we kept at it, we didn't get the breaks, of course. Brickford made a smart save from Chris Wood, it's got to be said, but we created chances, and on another day it could have been a whole lot very much different, but it could have been a victory. But at the end of the day, I think a point Burnley will take, and I thought Robbie Brady summed it up really well there, the performance. I think the performance was there. I don't think you could, but everybody put a shift in, real shift in, even the strikers who could be isolated at times, I thought really put a real decent shift in, and the work rate was there, certainly for all to see. And I don't think there was nothing wrong with that performance whatsoever. But at the end of the day, what a piece. It's not a disaster. We're only a point off getting out the bottom three. If Burnley play with the same intensity the rest of the season, I don't see no reason that Burnley can get out of this mess that they're in at the moment, get out the bottom three and move up the table. Because today, I have to say, the last 2 home games have certainly produced Burnley's best performances without doubt. Pope looks very secure in the goals, looked really good. That save at the end from Sigurdsson was something of pure, a real save of pure genius. I thought Pickford for Everton played really well. Everton looked very good on the break, it's got to be said. Could have nicked it at the end, as I said, but I'm really encouraged by the way Burnley played today. Even if they had lost today, it would have been a little injustice, because a bit like Jordan North being king of the castle last night. But having said that, we'll take the point, move on. We've got some tough games to come, but it's going to be the games around the bottom end of the table, against your Brightons, against your Fulhams, against your Sheffield Uniteds, that are going to be the crucial ones, your West Hams and teams like that. That's probably doing a disservice to West Ham, who in fact lie 5th in the table and are playing some really good stuff. Although I have to say they were very lucky to have beaten Aston Villa, but they've got a big chance tonight against Manchester United, the team not going well. Let me just point you in that direction, actually, to our second live commentary of the day. That's coming up at about 5:15, in just over 3 hours from now. We'll have live commentary of West Ham against Manchester United from the London Stadium, which is going to have a couple of thousand supporters in, so there's going to be a little bit of atmosphere for that one. Not much, but enough no United supporters are travelling because Manchester's been placed, of course, into the Tier 3 restrictions, which is a wrench for these northwestern teams like United's, your Cities, your Burnleys and your Leeds of this world. Newcastle are suffering, so too are Sheffield United and Villa and the Wolves and the Leicester and the West Brom as well. All these teams suffering when you've got the London teams, Brighton and Southampton, and the Merseyside clubs absolutely cock a hoop. They can invite fans back, but it's a ridiculous. I think every club should be out of Tier 3 before anybody should let any fans back in. We're hoping. Thank you, Ross, for the brilliant commentary. We're still here at Turf Moor. We're hoping to hear from Sean Dyche before the programme's out. If we can't, well, that's no big deal, but I'm sure we'll hear from him in the build-up to our second match later on, as we see again the goal from Robbie Brady. Good goal. There's a save from Pope to deny Calvert-Lewin in the first half. One should have made it two there. Should have gone round Pickford. And then the controversial moment, the equaliser, should he have stood when Alan clearly fouled in the build-up. We saw another save from Pope to deny James. Then one was denied by Pickford. And then right at the end, Sigurdsson's effort was well saved brilliantly by Pope, and honours very much even. But enough encouragement for Burnley to really take out of the game, and it would have been a travesty. Even if they'd have come away with a point, it would have been a travesty. They deserved at least a point of clarence, if not the 3 really, for their efforts this afternoon, and really they played really well. It's been a cold day. The possession, let me tell you the stats: possession 41% Burnley, 59% Everton. Attempts 8 for Burnley, 13 for Everton. Off target that was, or total attempts. 3 on target for Burnley, 6 to Everton. And I think we've got to leave it. I think we're not going to get into Sean Dyche anyway. But you know the drill. But it was a good game. It was evenly balanced. I didn't think there was anything in it. Goalkeepers were close at hand to make very good saves. And we heard from Robbie Brady earlier, and I think his appraisal sums up the way Burnley played today. I thought it was superb, and they looked really, really good. But that's the end of our coverage here at the Turf. We'll be 3 hours away from our next live game, which comes to you from the London Stadium, where West Ham take on Manchester United in what should be a really tasty game. United, having Champions League struggles this season, they now have to take on West Ham, who are buoyed by a controversial victory over Aston Villa last week. And they'll be looking, David Moyes will be looking for a bit of revenge over his old team. So don't forget to join me at 5:15. We'll bring you the full classified results. Hopefully we'll bring you a Sean Dyche interview in the build-up to the match from this afternoon, and a Carlo Ancelotti interview as well in the build-up to the match this afternoon. And of course the whole match live between West Ham and Manchester United from the London Stadium. But until then, have a fantastic rest of your afternoon, and we'll see you at tea time at 5:15. But for me, JB, on a day really that Burnley could and should have possibly won the game, I'll be a little bit disappointed with the referee, but take nothing away from their effort, commitment and their endeavour to try and win a game of football. A point, not enough to get them out the bottom 3, but plenty of encouragement going forward. And if they play like that, Burnley, then I do really see them getting out the trouble they're in at the moment. But plenty of good signs today, even though they didn't win and get out the bottom 3. But I've got a feeling that West Brom and Fulham will also drop points this weekend, and that could only be a good thing, really, from the Clark's point of view. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage here at the Turf, and we'll see you all at around about 5:15 for West Ham against Manchester United. But for now, from me, JB, have a fantastic afternoon, and I'll see you a little bit later on. Take care. Bye-bye.